VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
The Real Housewives of Lagos and the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Africa. Shout out to VOP, the voice of the people. You already know. Stay tuned, keep watching.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. It's Newspaper Review. I am Moses Humphrey, and I do have my colleagues with me, Jane Ogoye and Chukwuma Okoro, who also doubles as an analyst on this part of the show. We also have Mazi Amobi where he stays back from VOP this morning, and Dele Fanimo also with us, both public affairs commentators. Gentlemen, thank you very much for staying back.
My pleasure. Yeah,
now let's dive into it. The stories are right before us, and well, the cover page of some of the dailies have been taken over by an individual. I think his name is Matthew Owega Donlaga. Okay, basically published a goodwill message to him on his 50th birthday, signed by the president. The president's signature is quite difficult to forge, if you ask me. It looks like Arabic. But the signature of the president is right there to this individual. One Matthew Owega, yes, was being congratulated. He's a philanthropist, entrepreneur. And the president, this is supposed to be a letter written to him by the president, which he published on the cover page of some of the dailies, The Punch, The Guardian, and maybe some other daily. And Mazi Amobi and I were just talking about the audacity of putting this out there, you know, signed by the president.
Yeah, but it's his personal letter.
It's his personal letter.
Whatever he wants to do
should
with
it be on the cover page of the papers?
Why not? If we have the money. Good business for the Guardian and other newspapers.
Wow. I see where you're coming
Well,
from.
I take exception.
Please.
I take serious exception to it. This is a private communication between this guy and Mr. President.
And he decided to make it public.
So I think even the publication house that accepted this, because this is a kind of themification of the Nigerian presidency. You are reducing the presidency to nothing by publishing a personal letter of congratulations, of a birthday, whatever, in a national daily. You know, where people will now see Mr. President's signature and all that, is uncalled for. I do not know what the media handlers of Mr. President think about this, but I think it is not right, it is unfortunate, it is nonsensical to me that this letter should see, and is sitting at the front page of major newspapers in this country. It could give a very wrong signal to other people that Mr. President have congratulated personally to begin to publish their personal letters from Mr. President in the national daily. I think it's not right. The media handlers of Mr. President should also look at this thing, not reacting to issues that cannot be reacted to, you know, more often than not. And more importantly also, I think the newspaper houses also should have done, you know, a kind of, you know, getting a feedback from the presidency that this is what, apart from the economic benefit of this, the newspaper house should have gotten back to the presidency to say, this is what we have.
Yes.
What do you people think? Do we go ahead and all that? But in these days, you know, people take economic interest, you know, tends to override, you know, our sense of, you know, I do not know what to say, but I am pissed off with this. It is not right. It is nonsensical.
I align my thoughts with yours. It is not right. It doesn't look right. Quite unfortunate.
But we're not sure if the Guardian management had not gone ahead to ask for clearance.
Well,
you know.
Even if they ask for clearance and get the clearance, from the end of, from the side of the presidency, is wrong.
But this is not the first time this is happening. In this same administration, you will notice that a lot of people want to be
We need to
publicly
stop this.
associated with him.
We need to stop this.
You had a popular
They
musician.
buy our nanogas of this world and
You had a
Sunday
popular
Diaries of this
musician
world.
who recorded his conversation with him, with the president, and put it online. And his handlers didn't say anything.
I think it's wrong.
So it's
Now
something
that we know,
happens.
now that this one has sensitized us, we are now conscientized on this. We should take the lead now and begin to stop this attitude of self-glorification.
all right, let's flip the pages and check out some headlines from the dailies. We do have the story here. It's actually supposed to be the big story, but it's been, you know, pushed all the way towards the masthead. Just
Commercial
one
consideration.
liner. Commercial consideration.
Yes.
In an issue, in a situation where people are being killed.
Who pays the
What does
bill?
that say?
Who
What
pays
does that
the bill?
say?
Who pays the bill?
What does that say? Commercial consideration. And that's what
And we
Mazi
still
Amobi
mentioned
just
it.
said. Anyway, concerns over fresh killings in Kwara, Katsina. That's supposed to be
It's
the
still
big story.
captured on the front page.
That's I know your affiliation to the Guardian. But anyway, we have to go all the way to page 6, where the story is, to check out the riders, which of course will throw more light on this one. So, 170 feared dead in Kwara as residents comb bushes for missing kin. Senate orders military police surge in Katsina after dozens killed in 24 hours. Kwara, Katsina. Saraki brands Kwara killings national emergency, urges Tinubu to deploy troops, which has been done. Katsina government visits Faskari as Doma attack leaves at least 25 dead. PDP faults Kwara governor's response, seeks urgent relief for victims. Emir warns forest border communities under siege. Security agencies deploy operatives as casualty figures remain uncertain.
I said
175 reported so far.
Yeah, so
Many more.
We'll still be counting because there will be more discoveries.
Okay. Well, Chukwuma, you want to react to this one? It's an opportunity for you to air your views.
Yes, I want to react. And I would like to look at it from the perspective of what's going on in Nigeria in terms of insecurity and United States involvement. 170, it's
It's a whole lot.
It's one too many. It's a whole lot. That barely like eating it in the morning if you had to kill chicken or even goats.
Yes. And you have a pile of 170.
100. Let's say even
100.
Let's even say 100. I mean, if you look at it, you'll be overwhelmed. You know, in places where they do ECU and all of that, and when you see, if you go to abattoir and see how they process it, I mean, you lose it. So, not to talk about 170 people, their hands tied behind them and slaughtered. You know, it's huge. And that said, well, our hearts go out. My heart goes out to the families, you know, that lost loved ones in that incident. But I want to talk a bit about American involvement in Nigeria. I am kind of scared. You know, I'm kind of scared that America is getting involved in Nigeria. The only people that could have solved the Nigerian problem is the Nigerian people, the Nigerian government, if they are very sincere in tackling the problem, you know, frontally. But I see a situation where there's a lot of mix of politics, tribalism, religion in all of the war against insecurity in Nigeria, the war on terror and all of that. We have seen situations where communities say, well, we have information that we will be attacked. And the police say, no, don't worry, everything is in control. And these things happen within earshots of military formations, military commands. And it's only when people have been massacred that you see policemen and soldiers go there to arrest the indigents, you know, restrain the victims from assessing the killed ones. Sometimes they even take away the bodies. You know, they prevent people from taking snapshots of what happened. And so in all of this, you don't need to travel far to read the complicity in the government complicity in all of this. But Jonathan said, I have terrorists in my government. He was talking about sympathizers, people that sympathize, you know, with terrorists. And we have a situation where people are talking about nipping it in the bud. At this stage, you can't nip it in the bud again. Or the only thing you need is to close the inflow of funding, of finances. And if we have a situation where we have more than 60 names, you know, given to previous governments, and they cannot try these people to say, let us block the sources of this funding, which is a very, I think that is fundamental. If you block the sources, then they will fizzle out, they will dry out, you know, the recruitment process. And but a situation where we have a government that pays lip service to trying the sources of funds and all of that, it just goes to show that, well, the government is not sincere in fighting this terrorism. Let me talk about American involvement. I've gone through my mind, I've gone through history, I've searched, and I can't find a place where America intervened and solved this kind of problem, especially one that is ideological. I go back in history. America might be a world power, but America seems to me to be a world power in technology. The only success America has had is their intervention, you know. No, okay, in Kuwait, because Kuwait was a tiny spot, you know, and Kuwait, apart from being a tiny spot, is not even, it's monolithic. Every day they practice one form of religion, one form of Islam. They don't have the Sunni Shia division and all of that. So the only success they have had is when you talk about when what they did in Hiroshima. Apart from that, I can't think of any place that America has gone successfully. I go back to Vietnam. The Viet Congs from North Vietnam drove them away. They went to South Korea. What did they do? They slashed Korea into two at the 38th parallel. They went to Bay of Pigs. They ran away. In Somalia, they cut and ran. In Afghanistan, they cut and ran. They couldn't fight the Taliban. They couldn't decimate the Taliban. Look at what they are doing in Yemen. Look at what happened in Egypt. Look at what happened in Libya. No one place. Look at what happened in Iraq. At a point, you know, Iran turned into the sectarian violence there, you know, blossomed, and everybody started killing everybody. And Nigeria has a semblance of that. Why? Because we are multi-ethnic, we are multi-religious. And a situation where American involvement is framed around coming to protect the Christian community is a very dangerous one. I have preferred a situation where the American mission in Nigeria has come to say, well, we are coming to stop the killing of Nigerians. The way they have framed it now, look at what happened in Kwara. It was clearly anti-Christianity. You know, they said, even though those people killed were Muslims, about 70 of them were Muslims, you know, but it's just a jihad thing. It's like jihadism and all of that. So we should be careful how we are excited about American involvement in Nigeria. This is a problem that the Nigerian government could have solved. We had the Maitasine, you know, that happened in the late 70s and early 80s, or thereabout, early 80s, yes. And it was quelled in less than 3 months. By who? By the Nigerian military. Buhari was the DOC then, and he killed it. And I hear people say, and I believe them, that this thing wouldn't have happened under a military government. The military will go all out and quell it once and for all. But here, there's a little bit of politics. People are saying, well, the president is laid back because, well, he doesn't want to offend the North, clearly because he's interested in getting 2027. And a lot of people relate with that because when headers killed the son of Fasoranti in Southwest, the first thing that the president then was national leader of the APC, where are the cows? Who told you that they are headers? Because at that time, he was expecting something from the North. And people see a replay of all of that. So when people frame it along the fact that, well, the president is interested in 2027 and might not go all out, frontally to address this, people begin to see it happen and all of that. It goes more than perception and delves into reality. And I hear people say, well, the president will not solve this problem until he gets 2027 and now deals with it clearly. But because at that time, he wouldn't be looking for anybody to return him to office. So it's a very big problem. And I still believe that the only people that can solve this problem is the Nigerian people. America can give us, okay.
The coming of the Americans will, not be too favorable for this, fight and all that. And then we are also, not too sure that the Nigerian state can deal with this problem. So what are you talking about?
I know that the Nigerian state can do it, but they don't want to do it.
They have not been able to do it over time.
Because they don't want to do it.
That is the point. What will make them to do it?
What will make them to do it is you have a leader who is intentional about solving it.
And the leader is not intentional. So what do you do?
So America will solve the problem.
You see, we are in a difficult situation.
Between
the
a
leader
rock and a hard place.
has no intention to do what he needs to do. And then some other person has intention to come and do and then we are looking at it from different angles.
To me, the person that is
the minuses of that.
The person that is coming to compound the problem.
Right.
The person has a sincerity of purpose in solving the problem.
Right, I agree.
But with facts on ground and relying on history,
then
the person can't solve the
do
problem.
we have to stay where we are? Maintain the status quo?
No, we have to hold our government to account.
How do you hold the government to account?
Because
these are the critical issues.
I talked about
government over time has demonstrated incapacity, the willpower, the intentionality to begin to address this problem.
Man, so what
over time, we have seen them, if not for the little bravado we have seen, is because of this CPC declaration by America. Then it's like the government has, woke up from their slumber and begin to do some cosmetics, approach to issues. What is necessary is if we can solve our problem ourselves, there's no need for a third party to come.
We can solve the problem. It's just that we are not solving it. And the third party that is coming, I believe, is coming to compound the problem. If you go through the list of CPCs, countries of particular concern, I mean, Yemen is there, Iraq is there, Iran is there. There are so many countries, trouble spots of the world.
What you are saying, but my point of departure is that since we have not been doing what we need to do we need to be where we are?
No, what we need to do
and let this monster consume Nigeria.
No, what we need to do is to do what we should do. We are not doing what we should do. The person that
who compels us to do
what happens if this problem is internationalized? You see a situation where Iran gets a proxy and starts sponsoring them here in Nigeria. What will happen?
We are saying the same thing. If we have done what we needed to do, we will not get to this point.
Now, America has not even solved the problem.
Yes, but we are looking towards them as a potential help.
I'm telling you that they have never helped anyway.
Help is coming on the way.
They have never helped anyway.
Would it have been better for Nigerians to stay where we are?
It would have been better for the Nigerian people to hold the Nigerian government to account and say,
how do you hold the Nigerian people? Is it not this government that did not approve electronic transfer of results?
Okay, Mazi, will you rather prefer we have somebody that comes to compound the problem for us, or we stay with the problem and try to solve it our own by ourselves?
There are two necessary evils.
Okay. And we choose the lesser one.
There are two necessary evils, yes.
Which is the lesser one?
The lesser one depends on your perception. The lesser one depends on your perception of the issue. I think, given the right attitude given the right support, given the right encouragement by the Nigerian state, the American option is still the best.
America never gets this right attitude with it. And with time, the natives will become reactionary to their involvement. They'll become reactionary. And when they become reactionary, the issue becomes internationalized. And when it is internationalized, you see other powers, try to, poke, get interest in one spot or the other. Okay. Nigeria might just unravel. That is my fear.
Okay, well, it's not just in Nigeria that the world powers are showing interest in helping to curb incessant killings. Let me just read this, the headline on this story, and then we'll move on to another story. U.S. support against terror won't undermine Nigeria's sovereignty, says APC. The writer to that one, America-Hungary partner on religious freedom in Africa, Middle East. Now, just a quick look at this one. National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Felix Morka, has disclosed that Nigeria and the United States are jointly coordinating efforts to combat terrorism across the country. Now, this was as U.S. Deputy Secretary for Management and Resources, Michael Rigas, and Hungary's State Secretary for the Aid of Persecuted Christians and the Hungary Helps Program, Tristan Asbech, signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, to facilitate cooperation in supporting Christians and people of faith facing persecution, particularly in the Middle East and Sub-Saharan Africa. I would like to stop that one.
Moses, it's good you stop there. We shouldn't be talking about Hungary. The economy of Lagos State is bigger than that of Hungary. We shouldn't even be telling ourselves that we are making a deal with Hungary. I think we are insulting Nigeria, as a matter of fact. You see, the point of
Ukraine give us wheat at the time they were in
difficulty.
Ukraine. You know what Ukraine is?
When they were at war.
Ukraine is former USSR. USSR. Do you know the armament they hold?
They gave Nigeria bread.
If Ukraine is in Africa, Ukraine will be a great power in Africa. Let me tell you, the only place I can think of that America has intervened and successfully solved the problem is in Sudan. And what did they do? They split Sudan into two. That is the only place I can think of.
And this might lead to a split also.
Beautiful, but they didn't go there. They didn't go there to say we have boots on ground. You know what they did? They said, okay, this problem has been long, it's been interminable and all of that. Let's do a referendum. And after a referendum, and the part of Sudan that they didn't conduct the referendum, the Blue Nile area and the Kordofan area, around the Darfur area, they're still having problems with the main Sudan because they belong in the southeastern part of it.
Now let me open up another channel here. Would it have been better for this country to have military contractors as opposed to this
mercenaries?
Unlike what we are doing with Americans now. So which one would benefit us the more? Because both of them are interventionist, tendencies.
Tracks, yes.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Could it have been better we go out for these contractors, military contractors and all that? Or we, romance with America, as it were. So these two things, should bother us.
Did we have military contractors during the time of GEJ?
Absolutely. That was why the election held. They went in there.
But then there was a pushback. There was a pushback. Your people are killing my people.
That is the point. That has to do with, the question I was posing to my moderator.
No, Moses is the moderator.
You see, so what do we do when you see people that are not ready to change? What do? Do you allow the situation to be like that? You need to do something.
No, man, I acknowledge the fact that we need to do something. Like you said, we are between the devil and the deep blue sea, between the rock and a hard place. It is a difficult thing. You see, if you talk about contractors, more like using mercenaries.
Yeah,
what mercenaries will do is that you more like a sprinkle of them in troubled areas. Okay. Now, those people will clearly not be identified as any country because this war is becoming ideological, religious ideological war. To the extent that we see what is happening now. If you start killing these terrorists, who majority of them profess a particular religion, now the adherents of that religion will clearly turn on the Christians and the traditionalists and all of it. And that is what we want to avoid. between the United States and military contractors, clearly I will go for military contractors because they become nebulous. You know, you don't identify them with anybody. It becomes like, oh, there's Nigerian army, it's the Nigerian government that is trying to solve the problem. But because the moment America steps in, you know, other interests get involved in all of this. And the thing might just, you know, spin out of control. That is my worry. That is my fear. Because I've seen these things happen in other places, especially when the citizens, the victims themselves become reactionary.
Where do you place the issue of Malami being tried for terrorism financing?
Because he didn't release.
I think the issue of Malami is quite different from what is going on now. Malami had a stockpile of arms and ammunition in his private residence, and even common pistol, only the office of NSA can give authority for you to own a pistol, and they are usually given to retired service chiefs, retired judges of repute. Those are the ones that can be licensed to carry pistol. You are not supposed to have even pump action rifle. So if a private person that has not been in the military, that is not a retired military officer, now has more than 5 assault rifles, AK-47, AK-49, and other ammunitions, 7.6 millimeter ammunition. Where does he want to use it? To what end does he want to use it? Has he organized his own private army? So he has to explain that.
Yeah, the trajectory I'm going to is, do we need more of this terrorism financing going to the courts?
As a matter of fact,
if we need it, then we should go all out. Get out those lists that some people give to Nigerians. This problem of insecurity cannot be fought from one angle. It must be multifaceted. Now we are talking about financing terrorism and all that, giving them the energy, to blossom. These are one aspect of it. So we should, in as much as we have boots on the ground to do the needful, we'll also go and look out for their financiers sufficiently, not this jig-jag approach, sufficiently to be able to solve the problem. By the time the heat is on, that is why some of us are talking about the Nigerian state not being able to do this. There are things you can do simultaneously, sufficiently to push pressure on these guys. Before you sack Jack Robinson, 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6 months, the very essence of support of these guys will crumble.
If you cut off the source.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly the point.
So we should go all out, fight them from all fronts. And the result.
Malami's prosecution may be the starting point.
It comes back to the issue of, the government's intentionality. What the government needs to do is to start from cutting off the source of funding. Because if you don't cut off that source and America gets involved, mind you, there are also international funders to all of this. They say, oh, okay, so you have gone there. Now they'll push more money. They will even push arms and ammunition. Talk about, the movement of arms from the trouble zones,
Sahel belts,
the Sahel belt and all of that. It will come. And look at when we talked about purchasing drones. They launched what they had on us. So we'll see more of these things now. Even though America might have superior military capability, but it might just be a long drawn war of attrition that to a certain point, American public, if you start killing Americans now, if they have boots on ground, and you kill like 2, 3, 4 of them, the American public will go wild and say, oh, bring back our people. Like what happened in Somalia.
Yes.
Bring back our people.
Absolutely. Oh well, let's move away from that story. Let's check out some other headlines here.
The front page of the Tuesday, setback for electoral reforms. Senate rejects mandatory real-time results upload. Retains much criticized provision of old law, which gives INEC discretion on mode of transition. Slashes election notice deadline from 360 to 180 days. Discards proposed 10-year ban from politics over vote buying.
Okay, that's pretty much that. And from the Vanguard, it says Electoral Act. Senate passes bills. Rejects mandatory electronic transmission of results. All right. We'll take some other headlines here, and then you may react to this and others. China says not joining nuclear talks yet as US-Russia treaty expires. Troops nab Iswap logistics supplier. Secure refugee return in Borno. Troops nab Iswap logistics supplier. Secure refugee return in Borno. Guardiola, that's on sports. Guardiola wants permission for Guhi to play in League Cup final. And how terrorists killed 75 in Kwara communities, victims' family. Now, Vanguard also has these headlines. Jihadists execute 162 in Kwara massacre. Red Cross. Okay. Nnamdi Kanu files 22 grounds of appeal, seeks to quash his conviction. All right, so those are some of the stories there on the cover page of the Vanguard newspaper. And yes, you may make your peak, gentlemen.
2 years ago, did Kwara imagine that what is happening there now will happen? 2 years ago, in 2023 or 2024 precisely. They did not. So, what is happening in Kwara State can also cascade down to other states.
To other states in the south, yes.
That is pretty much correct. So, the issue now is, what are the government doing to prevent this from coming to the south? Just like Dele said, we have preponderance of people in the south. In a 2-3 kilometer circle, you have a lot more people. You know, the population is dense, as it were. So I think the government, both the states, contiguous states, within Kwara, should, put on their thinking cap. This is time to think, because this progression, however negative it is, itching in. So let us not wait until it gets to Osun or Oyo or Ekiti and all that. The government should be much more proactive to be able to stop this. That is the takeaway from what is happening to Kwara. Because 2 years ago, no one had thought it was restricted to the northeast,
then it's moved to northwest,
and then central. The north of the north central, But now the thing is coming down. So there is a lesson. What do? We should be much more proactive in trying to quell this, because if it comes to the south, particularly the southwest, that will assume a much more dangerous dimension.
All right.
I think it's something that has always been there. You see, if you talk to some of these military commanders and those in the theater of war, they will tell you that if given the latitude, the free hand, that those guys at that time were just miscreants that they can just exterminate in a matter of 2 weeks. Fortunately, we have heard some of these military commanders telling us, maybe after retirement, that there were days we were closing on these terrorists. Just in time, signal will come from somewhere above them and say that they should retreat. And those who decided not to retreat, we saw what happened to them. They were court-martialed, and some of them sentenced to jail terms and even death. Some of them are still languishing in prisons. So now the thing is overwhelming. Isn't it time Nigerian government started talking about how to suspend the 2007 election, regardless of your interest, and think about humanity first? Because it is only those who are living that we want to govern on. We want to provide amenities. We want to build infrastructure. Those who are dead, they are dead. And if care is not taken, more will still go, because the optics are not too good. Government should decide now that enough is enough. Allow the military to do their job. And if it's a case of collateral damage, there is no war without collateral damage. But at least let it be minimal. Because these guys, they are likely to start using human shields in their camps. Civilians that have been kidnapped. So let these people be routed. Enough of we are trying to pacify them. We're striking a deal with them. How can you, a murderer? It takes one to be a serial killer just to kill once. Once you are able to kill once, that conscience is dead. You can kill as many as possible.
Yeah.
It's just like a lion. If a lion or tiger attacks a human being, that salty taste of human flesh would attract that lion or tiger to other human beings. So the only thing you can do to stop that tiger or lion is to kill. And the same way, the same thing should be applied to these terrorists. Anything you do that is other than exterminating them, wherever they are found, is encouraging them and populating their ranks.
All right then. Well, I like how The Guardian draws up today in history. You know, they just created a section for it there. So I'm just going to read a few of that affects us here in Nigeria. Today in history, in 2016. Okay, let me start from 2002. Today in history, 2002, Nigeria. Troops cracked down on ethnic fighting in Lagos following 3 days of clashes that left over 100 dead.
20 what?
2002.
2002.
Yes. Today.
This crisis that started in May 12.
Oh.
Yes, that spilled over to other parts of the state between two ethnic groups.
Okay. And also, today in history, in 2016, presidency raised the alarm that Nigerians may starve to death by 2050 if nothing was done to ensure all-year farming, as the population will rise to 509 million.
No, 2016. That's the presidency of
2016,
Buhari.
Yes.
That's the presidency of Buhari.
Yes.
Raising alarm that if nothing is done by 2050,
Nigerians will die of famine.
Okay,
and
50 minus 26. Okay, so we have 24 years left.
And what has been done so far? What's been done so far to ensure all year round farming?
And then you are also romancing
what has been
terrorists that are taking over the farms.
We have 2,000 tractors that we brought from Belarus.
When you sound like this,
We don't have 2,000 tractors that we brought. Is it not to encourage all year farming? Is it me that bought the tractors? We have 2,000 tractors.
to encourage all year round farming.
Trouble. Don't we have 2,000?
We do.
So why is it Moses making sound as if I'm the one that brought the tractor or that? We have 2,000 tractors. You're asking what we do to all year farming. You understand? Okay. The other time we were in where did we go to again?
Brazil.
No. Okay, we're expecting from Brazil.
Okay.
Now and from.
Can you stop being cynical?
Moses, I'm not cynical. I'm putting out facts there. You recall that when we went to Brazil, we signed a deal with one company, a company that I understand processes more than 90,000 cows a day. You know, they are coming to Nigeria. We are still expecting them. I'm talking about all-year farming. The other time we were at our president went for the Sustainability Summit. And before then, we were in the Climate Change Summit sometime. You know, I think there were about 300 people or so, including skit makers, you know, that went with us, so that when we come back, we can transform all of these things, so that the average people that open Facebook will understand what climate change is all about.
It's sarcasm.
It's not sarcasm. Didn't these things happen?
It happened.
All year farming. That is, you see, when the government does, my problem with people in government is that some of the time they don't even know how to articulate their ideas and what they are doing. This government is doing a lot. Just put together what I have said now. Is it not part of trying to say that all year?
And then if you're not adding to the fact that terrorism is affecting farmers, you start to wonder how those tractors will be put to use.
No,
how the trip to Brazil will be put to use in the rearing of cattle.
Our president went to Brazil, and you know what he said? He said, there is problem, we'll come and help us, you know, because our people can no longer go to farm. And after closed door meetings, you know, the tractors came out. Apparently, Brazil might have assured him that we will be part of the problem. And the president came back and said, when he sits in the penthouse somewhere in Aso Rock, that, you know, in satellite He didn't say satellite, but I don't know. There's one equipment he says he uses. You see people, farmers going to farm and all of that. And he had peace of mind. He gave him peace of mind. If you Google it, you will see it. You know. And at a point, we even made arrangement to send soldiers to guard farmers and all of that. These things are plans. One will work, one will not work. So we have many plans on ground. It's not every plan that a man makes that works.
This government also, I think a few days ago, was telling us that the prices of food is coming down. You know, that it is thanks to Mr. President's policy that a bag of rice has come down, you know, food items have come down and all that. They did not tell us also the ability of Nigerians to buy this food that has come down. Because amidst all this, the inflation has also gone up. The money can buy less than what it bought a year ago and all that. So this has also put Nigerians in a precarious situation trying to feed themselves. So not just that the food items are coming down, but the purchasing power of Nigerians are plummeted. That is what it is.
No, see, I'm not sure you go to market. We have an apostle of a crash of food prices here, Dele Fanimo. Dele tells us every time that prices of food items has come down.
What are you trying to tell the viewers? That I will leave my wife at home and then go to market to go and do market survey. You should have asked Jane. Jane is a better person.
You can blame me witness.
He's an advocate for the government.
No, he's not.
He's very
Please,
pro.
Jane, what is the current price of gari and rice?
Well, foodstuffs have generally gone down, like the prices.
Yes.
Rice is, we know that rice is one thing we eat a lot in Nigeria.
Okay.
You can
How
get
much is
it
the bag
for
of rice now?
50K, 60K, depending on the size, but it has really crashed.
Imported rice.
Imported. You know, there was a time it was 120,
Exactly.
even 150 in this country. So right now, 50K,
Jane,
60.
Tomatoes.
This 50,
How about the
when did you
basket of
express it last?
When did I get it?
Last.
Well, I've not bought a bag of rice lately because, but
But have you priced?
yes, I have.
Okay.
It's common knowledge. It's 50,
How about the basket
60.
of
Tomatoes.
yes?
Tomatoes, you get
Tomatoes,
15K, depending
Now,
on the size.
a basket?
Yes.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
tomatoes is in season right now, so it's
Oh,
cheaper.
okay.
Yeah, depending on
Okay.
the size
So,
of the
so
basket.
can you now
Seasonal
see?
thing.
Can you now
Yes,
see?
it's
because it's
seasonal.
That can you now see? You have a better analyst than me, and you are
On foodstuffs.
No, but
pushing
no,
it.
I want to follow Jane's analysis because I
Yeah.
also hear
When
that.
last did you go to the market?
I'm a reporter too. You are not the only reporter. So I go to do market survey. You know, because I actually learned, you know, some people bought rice at 50,000, 51,000 back then.
Yeah.
But I hear now that rice has gone back to 75,000.
No, I doubt
That's
it.
the information I have.
Well, I doubt. As at January.
Nobody
18th,
after the program now.
Be
find
what-
out.
still
be-
50.
Whatever, however we look at it,
Yeah.
the point I was trying to make is that despite the fact that there has been a crash in the prices of
Not
food,
necessarily crash, but
not,
a drop.
okay, a drop, whether it is significant or not, is the average Nigerian able to buy as much as he or she wants to buy, despite the drop in price? The answer is no. So where lies the glorification by government that the prices of food has dropped, courtesy of Mr. President's economic policies?
No, Mazi, let me tell you what is happening. As a matter of fact, we should not even gloat. You know, government should not cheer that, look, price of food items, because apparently the only thing that has come down is the price of rice. And this rice we are talking about is
Gari
imported
also.
rice. Is imported rice.
Gari also.
Are you aware that we are importing Gari? Are you aware that we import palm oil into Nigeria?
I said the prices. You only asked me for prices.
Eh.
You didn't ask me for importation.
But I'm telling you, do you know that we import Gari from
Interesting.
neighboring Benin Republic? Are you aware? Fact of
Yes,
the
I
matter.
am.
Fact of the matter. We even import pineapple from Benin Republic here.
Tomatoes
That
too
I-
are imported.
Are imported. So this whole idea of price of food items crashing is not because the farmers have gone back to farm.
No.
No, we are making preparations for farmers to go back to farm. The fact
How long
remains
will it
that-
take you people to finish this preparation?
No, man, when I say we, I mean the Nigerian people.
You have said it too.
Not me as a
You have said it.
not the government.
And you're on there.
You understand? So when I say we, I mean the Nigerian people. As a matter of fact, the drop in prices is because the market has been open and imported goods are coming in. That is just it. It's not as if farmers
So
have come back.
would it be right for us to say it is cosmetic? It's not real.
Cosmetic. Is it cosmetic or is it It's makeup.
And what is makeup? What is cosmetic?
No, makeup is a light.
Ask a woman.
So,
All right,
I know they-
okay. Well, let's just touch on a few other headlines. Yes, Ojulari concedes NNPC can't run refineries profitably. And there's another rider I saw somewhere about the NNPC saying, oh my goodness.
I just hope that this one
I
is not
just
on
skipped.
Kuchi.
It's not.
It's not on Kuchi. It's Kuchi. And what did they call him?
No,
Because when this man came, he said we should give him
Oh no,
$50 billion.
no, we shouldn't. No, I think that's not a good term to use. Yes.
Yeah.
So please do apologize.
Okay, I apologize for
Thank
that.
you very much.
Because
I like. He's a good reporter.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
you know, how can somebody who told us late last year that he needs only $60 billion to fix the 4 refineries and there will be top-notch refineries, now coming to say that same organization you headed not quite 3-4 months that can't even run a refinery, and yet you have people, over-bloated workers, crying for payment of their salaries when they are not productive, and you have not done anything about it.
Okay, Dele, well, Moses, what I'm about to say, I hope you not ask me to apologize.
He says there was pressure to keep refineries running despite monumental losses. That's from Daily Trust, the same Ojulari.
Okay, the same Ojulari.
Yes.
So, if I were the president, you know, and I'm in faraway Europe or in any part of the world that I am doing the business of government, and I hear this from Bayo, I'll ask him to pack his load before I come back to Nigeria. I'll just sack him. Because it clearly tells me, as an engineer, trained engineer, who was given a responsibility, look through this thing, look at it clearly. In one breath, you are saying, oh, I can do this.
Fix
This is
it.
what I need. And in less than 3 months, you are coming to say, sorry, I can't do it. You are simply telling me you
You are
can't
not
do it.
competent, that's
I'll
it.
just sack you. I'll just sack you. As simple as that.
it's akin to.
And he's even saying he was retaining those refineries out of pressure.
Who was
pressurizing him?
It's akin to doing before thinking. You know, that is the bane of this administration.
I mean, I'm really
Very
disappointed in
unfortunate.
him.
And this is refinery that Dangote wanted to take on. He was frustrated before he now
He had already paid.
looked out, his own refinery. Now, what do they do? Now, coming from the chief executive officer of, that organization,
NNPCL.
and then $1.5 billion, is it? Am I correct?
Yes,
That was
ma'am.
expended on these refineries.
Last year,
And nothing has happened. No one has been called to account. And then,
$10 billion, about $20 billion in 10 years.
in 10 years. That is humongous. So that speaks to
the same
level,
amount
the
that
level of waste.
Dangote used in fixing 650,000
Liter
capacity
capacity.
a day.
And the workers are saying
Barrels.
they are not being paid. And the workers are saying
So
they are not being
where
paid.
do we go from here? And you continue to accumulate overheads, and if you don't do it, because those guys are unionized, before you say Jack Robinson, they are holding the government on the jugular. So what we need to do as a country is very holistic. That is why I do not know if Mr. President have an economic team. There was some time when somebody was heading the economic team. Put these
Yes.
things together.
Yes, it's headed by Wale now. Wale.
Edu.
The CBN.
Coordinating
the
Minister of
Minister of
Economy.
Finance, yes.
Put these things together. We have a lot of lacuna in this administration. Now that he has finally nailed it, that this thing is moribund, that is what it is. It cannot be resuscitated. So where do we go from here? Before you sack Jack Robinson, the workers will always begin to look at how best to get their pay and then leave the organization and what have you. So that speaks volume of the managerial skill, of this administration.
Well, this will be a good place to anchor the conversation. I must say a very big thank you to you, gentlemen. Mazi Amobi Iheburu and Dele Fanimo. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Chukwuma Okoro, thank you as well. He makes a comeback later tonight, 6 p.m., Political Lens, where we'll be delving straight into political issues. Jane Ogoy, thank you very much. And I am Moses Humphrey, wishing you a beautiful morning. Stick around. Sports comes up next. Bye for now.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
When I first heard VOP, I thought they were talking about me because I'm a voiceover personality. But no, this is Voice of the People TV, and you are riveted forever because this is the place to be.
You guys, your boy Chella. Shout out to VOP TV. I love you guys.
Salut, salut tout le monde. Suspect 95. Là, on est sur VOP TV. On passe un bon temps. J'espère que vous kiffez. On est au Afrima. On est ensemble. VOP TV.
Don't see me like a fool because I don't do giddy giddy giddy. VOP, you don't know Stoneware from Ghana representing live and living color. Yeah, Beam Nation President. Outside with it. Bless up.
Hello, this is Milo from Ivory Coast. Keep watch Voice of the People TV. Regardez la voix du peuple, la télévision de la voix du peuple. Que Dieu vous bénisse. À très bientôt. Love you so much.
Hi guys, what's up? This is Gaze Baba. I am watching VOP TV. Usually you be told to not touch the